Netflix in trouble, and Colombia, I predicted it anyway, because anything involving Meghan is either going to fail or get into big trouble. Archie and Meghan, and that he will do whatever it takes. Most Camp Sussex leaks are intentional, so why would they leak this? This circular assertion is without substance. It makes Harry appear like the bad guy, and her like the nice person, who may not want to pursue this legal action, or believe it's a bad idea. It says it doesn't support Harry, but doesn't favor fighting these things in court, which may or may not be true. Meghan, like Harry, appreciates the attention and importance of driving lots of automobiles and feeling important. They both want convoys. They once took a 7-car convoy around the block, instead of walking to enter a conference in New York City, where everyone walks. We realize that a lot of this is about feeling and looking significant. It matters to narcissists. By saying that, she's signaling that it's just him who's trying to pursue these things and continuing to do them, which takes some of the heat off Meghan in terms of public opinion from people who aren't paying as close attention. But he does. He has choices. If he ever went to the UK to visit his family, he could stop this farce and stay on royal grounds. Requested 30 days or more notice. He doesn't give anyone enough notice of his excursions, and declined away palace accommodations last time. He doesn't try to change it. He intentionally chooses to continue and not pick another path. This could have been leaked for a worse cause. It's possible given Meg's manipulative past. Meghan leaked this to send a message to Harry that she wants him to let this go, that he shouldn't worry about these things, that she wants him to be free of this stress. But she's using this leak, and others like it, to play on his paranoia and anxieties, that he has no other choice, or else they won't be safe. Basically telling Harry he has no other options to protect his family, which is toxic. Honestly, do you think Harry is stupid and weak? If so, comment number 1, and if you don't, comment number 2. It backs him into a corner, so that if he drops it, publications and opinion pieces will say he sacrificed Meghan and the kids' safety, or couldn't keep them safe. Since he's paranoid and anxious about these things, dramatic stuff like that will freak him out. Many assume Meghan is using this to perpetuate the problem, yet she's doing the opposite in person. Many still sympathize with Harry there. Those who have been in toxic, manipulative relationships can recognize these indications and sympathize with Harry. Meghan has shown that she can be manipulative and say one thing and do another. In such instances, the partner is puzzled, frightened, on edge, and unable to foresee what will happen next. Let's move on to other news. Meghan Markle's Netflix-connected American Riviera Orchard Montecito material was delayed. It's usually bad when a show is delayed to 2025, as in this situation. It can be normal sometimes. They have a lot of post-production content ready to air, and they don't want to clutter up the fall or upcoming seasons. They don't want 3 or 4 large cookery shows at once to crowd a genre. Due to time constraints, culinary show fans don't want Meghan, a new show, to compete with 3 existing staples with large fan bases. Sometimes they won't try a new show unless they're bored. Thus, it may explain it. Perhaps they're fine-tuning the production and want to take their time with editing and other tasks, leaving more time to finish the project. Rumors, and most people believe Netflix isn't excited about the programming. Her other works, such as The Bench and Archetypes, aren't always good. They're not attracting viewers, buyers, or listeners. Meghan's content isn't popular. She lacks charisma and the likability to carry a show. She may not be good at those things. At least that's the consensus. Another option is more complicated. Several articles reported that Meghan was trying to reach an unprecedented deal with Netflix to form a consumer partnership with American Riviera, Orchard Montecito, and Netflix to help with product production and distribution for her brand, which she wants to tie into her Netflix show. She was trying to figure out how Netflix might help. As you know, Netflix offers no merchandise. The service provides material. They're not Amazon. These disclosures were interpreted as Meghan pushing for this and pressuring the deal to make it happen. which was deemed absurd. However, the series may have been delayed to allow more conversations about whether this would happen. Meghan is seeking aid with American Riviera Orchard Montecito since establishing your own items is challenging and requires several steps to sell them. Curating items is also difficult. Starting a brand or business is easier than becoming an influencer who accepts sponsorships, postings, or product placement. Starting a business with items and a website is more complicated and time-consuming. We know she couldn't find a CEO. Nobody wanted the job, nobody wanted to work for her, or she was too choosy in hiring. It makes natural that she's pushing her enterprise to Netflix, since she couldn't hire people. How about you start this for me? Make the website, gather the stuff, and jump through their hoops? Then I can choose what to put up it. That may have been her strategy. Because starting these things is hard. Even more surprise, Meghan and Harry revealed a 4-day trip to Colombia in the fall, perhaps around November, with an unusual booking. This press release is amazing. The Archwell Foundation, founded by the Duke and Duchess, leads the world in internet safety. Not so, it's not famous for anything. Not well-known Archwell. Verify that, please. That's ridiculous to type. How out of touch must you be to compose that sentence? Where have you been? Have you researched anything? Not well known is Archwell. Not even close. What have they done to improve online safety? One of their 2 roundtable discussions involved Meghan Markle dressing inappropriately to exploit these parents for the press. Fucked up? I'll share the video. Totally unacceptable. Not for that or anything else. The conference will present a framework for safer physical and digital places, addressing cyberbullying, online exploitation, and mental health effects. Countries worldwide will receive actionable solutions and commitments. This statement refers to a conference apart from Meghan and Harry's scheduled visit. Like in the video I referenced, they organized a conversation on World Mental Health Day. Harry and Meghan simply hosted one event during this major conference. The same thing happens. I assume it's the first event in Colombia and will likely travel to new countries and be hosted annually. It already targeted online safety. Meghan and Harry are sort of hopping on the bandwagon since it was supposed to be about that. By combining Meghan and Harry's visit with this conference that was already arranged and going separately, the announcement implies that Meghan and Harry are part of it. They're not. The Duke and Duchess and the Archwell Foundation will participate in various significant topic-related activities during their visit. They'll likely focus on online safety programs throughout their stay. We believe their visit will highlight Colombia's cultural and innovative leadership. I wonder how. How are you going to visit youth, women, Colombia's culture, and the internet in 4 days? They have this issue with Nigeria. They tried to do everything in 4 days. No clear message met. The whole thing became the Meghan show, and the press only covered Meghan. In that series, I'll link the playlist on their failed tours. We addressed how when you're doing a huge trip like this, you need one targeted thing to keep the press focused. The press will pick on whatever is most sensational, so you won't progress. Everything is self-game. Evidently, after Nigeria, they won't raise vital topics like internet safety for minors. Nigeria would likely face a similar issue: poorly organized, poorly executed, chaotic media coverage, self-centered, no advancement toward these causes. However, it highlights Harry's unreasonable fear about moving to the UK. He is afraid and making a huge deal about going to the UK. But fine with Colombia and Nigeria, which makes no sense. Beautiful, but may not be as safe as the UK. It may only show Harry's irrationality, rather than this online safety endeavor. Certainly, for a guy who won't tell his family 30 days before a visit, but tells the world he's going to Colombia months ahead, perfectly paints him as a hypocrite. Maybe she's probably planning a quasi-catastrophic pap pursuit, or some such imagination. Stay aware, Colombia. This is a ploy from her for her divorce records. They are a truly vile couple. The U.S. citizens have the right to own a gun. They go to Jamaica, Africa, Canada, the Caribbean, and now Colombia. But no, the UK is too scary for the wife. Please give me a break. In addition, Meghan is spurring him on because she needs the excuse for not coming to the UK, and she makes sure he presents it as he needs to protect his wife. Typical Meghan, more create havoc and make sure someone else is in the firing line when the backlash starts. Stand back and watch the fallout with duper's delight. Harry doesn't know whether he is coming or going by now. His face and demeanor said it all. During this last interview, he looked weary and out of love. In my opinion, she has full control over him. If he wasn't so stupidly pig-headed, he would have dropped her and gone home long ago. Wait and see. I predict that this Colombian trip will be just another episode of the Megsy fashion show, with tag-along Harry toddling behind her as she hugs people into submission and shows her terrifying teeth in rictus grins. Like Jamaica and Nigeria, Colombia is a country with fairly high rates of violence and some kidnapping potential. Seems odd, doesn't it, that Harry is only fearful in Britain, nowhere else? This can be explained as in Britain they will be booed. Harry can't stand to shatter his illusions that he is still the most popular royal he used to be. But now that everyone can see how the real royals act, with dignity and class, handbag is down the bottom of the list. Ever since they established Archewell, it's been hard to figure out why it even exits. Their mission statement makes about as much sense as their usual word salad. They basically have accomplished nothing but get enough publicity that people think of them as real humanitarians. They are far from it. Stupid people give Archewell money to donate, but Harry and Meghan sit on it, making interest and giving hardly any away. Google it, is very interesting. Let me explain further. Like churches, charities are tax exempt in some jurisdictions, so incoming funds go into the charity coffers free of tax. Then business expenses are taken out of the charitable funds. Expenses is very loosely defined, so clothing, travel, and other ordinary expenses, etc., may be expensed. There is a lot of money to be made in being humanitarian. You get lots of money tax-free. Unfortunately, Archewell's income does not quite match the expenses. Do you agree with my thoughts? Please share in the comments below. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. As much as I don't want to, I have to say goodbye, and see you